Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm Wes Decker. Great to have you along. It's our second to final show for the fall sports season, and everything is complete now. And we have a couple of volleyball state champions to talk about, and we start with those in 1A, the Smithsburg Leopards, and begin with comments from the victorious coach talking about the total team effort put in by the Leopards in the victory over Perryville on Friday night.
We have strong middles, but we also have had contributions from our outsides all season long. Tonight we had some tough serving by our freshman Lauren in the first game. She had maybe 5 aces in that first set. Really helped her to settle down and loosen up, help our team settle down. We got all of our seniors on the floor tonight. It's always a great night when we're able to do that. Defensively, Marissa led us there, but we had other contributions from Holly Winders. Peyton ran the show, but, Elena chipped in on offense, and Megan chipped in on offense, and, everybody kind of did their part, and that's kind of what we stress at Smithsburg, that, it's about playing your role, being a team player, and I think tonight they did that to a T, so I'm very proud of them.
Well, Coach Brashear obviously very happy with her team, and 4 members of that team here. Congratulations to Elena Black, Marissa Dangler, Peyton Bilella, and Megan Moran on the state championship. And it's great to have you here. I feel that we need the warmth on a day like this anyway, as cold as it's been. Elena, let's go back to Friday night and the win over Perryville. Started off very strong in that game. You came up with the very first point. How important was it to get off to a good start and grab that first set and the momentum?
I think it's very important to, get the momentum for the game. It's very important to come out with a lot of energy and to come out on top, to just play our game and play it well, and just to get on top of them early and fast.
And that's exactly what you did. And Marissa, as a senior, obviously not being able to get there last year was something that kind of stuck in your craw a little bit. So there was a mission for this Smithsburg team. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. Had 6 different players come up with winners in that opening set. What did that do to kind of set the tone for the team? Because Coach Brashear talked about that total team effort, and it certainly was. What did you see from your perspective there with everybody contributing?
Everybody definitely contributed, and we all worked together. We knew we wanted this win really bad, and we just knew we just had to play as a team and not as individuals on the court.
And Peyton, obviously, you've been here before, winning state championship previously, and this Smithsburg program has just been so good at being able to do that. We talked about that a few weeks ago, and to be able to win this state championship as a senior, again, this was a mission from the time that you lost to Fort Hill the year before. Did you feel any pressure to win that match on Friday night at all, or because it looked like you were just having fun and you went out there and you were pretty loose?
It was. Every game that we stepped on the court this season, I feel like there wasn't any pressure because we went out there and we were playing for each other. This team was really close this year. We were a family, and that took a lot of the stress away from all the game situations. We just went out there and had fun playing for each other.
And that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand when you talk about a program like Smithsburg that's been so successful. It kind of gets dehumanized a little bit because it seems like a machine because everybody is so good and the results are so great. And Megan, in the second set, which obviously it's important to keep a team down after winning set number 1. Second set, trailing 7-6 early, but there didn't seem to be any panic at all. You come in and you're part of this team this year and winning a state championship. What did it mean to you to be a part of this team this year and to come back with that gold from the Ritchie Coliseum on Friday night?
It meant the world to me to be able to be part of such a great team that could come together after losing last year and then come together and just play for each other and to be able to win this and come out on top again.
And how do you keep the momentum going when things seemingly are so easy? 25-9 in the first set. Now, obviously, they hit you with a 4-1 run to start that second set. But how do you keep that energy and that momentum going in your favor?
We just have to make sure that we control our side of the net and block everything else out so that we can play our game.
And that's exactly what you guys did, certainly to perfection. You get the winner to end set number 2. And going into the third set then, Peyton, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you allow yourself to think about winning that set and the state championship, or are you able to channel all of that energy just into finishing off that third set first and foremost?
I mean, you can't deny that it's in the back of your mind. You know you have 25 more points, but it also fuels that fire for you to want to keep playing and finish that third game strong, because it's important that, you know, you still work as hard as you did the first 2 sets in that last set.
And Marissa, how satisfying is this state championship for you? Is this the ultimate way to go out?
Yes, it's the best way to go out. You know, in the beginning of the year, we talked about just how cool it would be to win a state championship. And as a senior, it's just a great feeling to go out knowing that you won a state championship.
And Elena, of course, you'll be back next year, as will Megan, and some other players have certainly contributed there. Lauren Daniels had a very good night, who was just a freshman, and you got Lexi Spickler and some other players too. I mean, this should be a very good team next year. Do you allow yourself to start thinking about, what next season might hold for you?
You know, I think everyone's already kind of starting to think about it a little bit next year. You know, obviously we're still happy about this win, but it's kind of in the back of your mind. You want to do the same thing next year, work just as hard, maybe even a little bit harder, and, you know, just go for it again because it was such a fun ride this time.
And Marissa, how nice is it to be able to sort of etch your name in history again within the annals of Smithsburg volleyball history and to be a state champion?
It's really awesome. It's a great feeling. You know, when I was younger, I would always go to the games where Elena's sister and Peyton's sister played, and I always thought how cool it would be to, you know, be playing on that court and have people look up to you and want to be like you, and it's a great feeling.
I'll tell you what, it's almost like I gave you a script, because that's the perfect segue into what I asked your coach, the last question that I asked her before we get to what she had to say. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on the state championship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And here is Coach Brashear wrap up the Smithsburg volleyball season.
You know, I just think that I've been incredibly blessed with amazing athletes that come through Smithsburg. And like I said, they followed us since they were in 6th grade, come to all the games and follow us, and they want to be part of it. You know, have amazing parents. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, I have players whose kids play every set, you know, and they're cheering loud. And I have parents whose kids get in, you know, here and there, and they're still cheering just as much as the next. I think that's the key to it. I think, you know, we buy into that. We are supporters of Smithsburg volleyball, you know, and I think that's what makes this town special and this program special, because, you know, I'm just very blessed in that department, you know, and I'm very proud of that. So.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. We continue with more volleyball state champions. Man, I love this. It's the 3A state champions represented by Kalia Frost and Zoe Schreiber. And the smiles are infectious. Great to see you guys again. You were here before the playoffs even began, and clearly this was what you wanted to accomplish, winning that state championship. I had a chance to talk to your coach following the state championship win. Zoe, what do you think she had to say? Any idea?
Probably that she was really proud of us.
Let's find out what she had to say.
I'm just so proud of these girls. They've worked hard since, basically end of last season when we, lost to Damascus. And those seniors have said, we want redemption and remember that feeling. And I think they showed it tonight, gave it everything they had and came out on top.
Well, you proved to be a prophet on that one, Zoe. Obviously, you know your coach pretty well, and she should be proud of you, and you should be proud of yourselves. Congratulations on that once again. Let's get to the match, Kalia. And it was red, white, and black versus red, white, and black. There was plenty of that to go around in the Ritchie Coliseum. They're the Gladiators. Is that intimidating at all?
I mean, not really. I mean, you don't really pay attention to the team name, but the players on the team.
Yeah, just kind of a cool name when you put
Yeah.
Gladiators and Hubs side by side. I don't know,
Yeah.
it sort of slants toward Gladiators, but the Hubs were the Gladiators on Friday night, no question of that. Get off to a pretty good start in the first set of that match, and I asked the Smithsburg girls about this, and from your experience, Zoe, of being in state championship matches, how important is set number one?
Oh my gosh, it is the most important set of the whole match, I think. That really builds the momentum, and, if Glen Elg would have taken that first set away from us, it would have been a completely different game. The momentum shift is ridiculous. The fans get into it, everyone gets into it, and, it can go a completely different way, but you really, match or set one, fuels the whole match.
And Kalia, you did a pretty good job of propelling your team in the right direction. Up by a count of 4-3 at the time, you get back there on the service line, and by the time you're finished, 5 straight winners, and it's a 9-3 match. And it seemed like the serving for North Hagerstown was just on point on Friday night. What was working there for you guys?
I mean, I feel as a team, we are comfortable behind the serving line, so we don't necessarily have to worry about, oh my gosh, am I going to get it over? Is it going to be in? We don't worry about having to ace it. We just want it over and in. So we just do what's comfortable.
Yeah, and just a great run right there to establish that momentum that you're looking for in the first set. And then, Zoe, you kind of took over there. You get a kill, and then all of a sudden, you head back to the service line, and it's just a big run there. And runs are so important. And how much pressure does that put? Because you've kind of been on both sides of this. You've had some real competitive matches along the way. How much pressure do you start feeling when you know this is an opportunity to win a state championship, and you're on the other end of somebody, reeling off points against you?
Being on the other end, you're just man, I don't know what to do, and you get kind of scared. I'm not gonna lie. If I were on Glen Elg's team, I would have been nervous, and it really gets in your head, and that completely messes up the whole team, and the momentum with everything, and that can really a serving run from the other team is just very crucial. If it can go pretty bad for you.
Yeah, well, you and Kalia and Jayla Bell, I mean, she really stepped up, I think, between the semifinal game and the final. I mean, she looked like she could jump out of the gym at times, and she was doing all kinds of things, and that first set winds up going your way. In between the first and second set, I noticed you guys were extremely loose out there. There might have even been a little bit of dancing there in between sets. I think that's what it was. Talk about that a little bit, Kalia, and just how loose and confident you guys were able to play.
Well, for North, we play best when we are relaxed and we have fun. So knowing that, we just had that first set under our belt, we could relax a little, have fun, maybe bust out a little dance move here and there, but, it's just, we take what was given to us, and we roll with it.
Well, it's nice to be able to soak in the atmosphere a little bit and have some fun, even though there is a big prize at the end of all of it. Now, Glen Elg made that second set very challenging. I mean, for the longest time, they had the lead, and then it was tied on several occasions, got to 17-17, and then 21-21. And then after that, you kind of take over. And is that sort of where senior leadership comes into play, and the fact that you were out to it was really state championship or bust this year for North Hagerstown in a big way. So is that where you just kind of step up and say, this is where we have to have it? Getting that second set really ultimately puts the whole match in your favor at that point.
Yeah, well, I knew going into the game, I was like, no matter what happens, this is my last game for my high school career. And I just talked to the girls a lot. I was like, look, we all want this. We just got to leave everything out on the floor. And having the second set win really helped also. It made us more relaxed too, and we knew we were one step closer, but we knew not to get complacent with everything, so we just kept competing hard, and we had a really fun match with it.
Well, speaking of being seniors, I did ask your coach a little bit about that, and she got a little emotional. Here's how it went.
I've had these seniors, 4 of them since 6th grade, being able to teach them in middle school, and so seeing them, being with them pretty much day in and day out, and then in high school all season, it is bittersweet. Obviously, I'm so happy for them. And then, I will miss, every single one of them. And they've played a huge part in, North High volleyball.
And obviously, you two have been a big part of North Hagerstown volleyball, and a state championship really sort of solidifies all of that, going out on that particular note. Zoe, how did it feel when you get that kill and end that match and the state championship is yours?
Oh man, match point, I can't even describe it. So many emotions were just flowing through me, and it was just like, I started crying. I was so happy we won, but I was so sad that it's over because, North High volleyball is just so much fun and so competitive, and we're always just having a great time with each other, and it's definitely something I'll remember forever. But, it was just kind of like, this is the end, it's so bittersweet, but like, we're all celebrating, but I'm crying because it's over. So it was mixed emotions.
Kalia, what was your favorite part of this run this year?
My favorite part was just, being able to come together for every game and then actually making it to states and actually winning that championship to prove like our hard work paid off, and that like our family that we created just is so strong enough that we couldn't be taken down.
Well, congratulations on the state championship. Well deserved, and had a great time watching you this season, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
I'll be back right after this. We've got some more playoffs to talk, beginning with football in just a moment.
Since 1963, you've been trusting the folks at Hagerstown Floors. It's still a family-owned and operated business featuring a variety of high-quality flooring choices for your home, like carpet, ceramic, hardwood, vinyl, and we offer floor sanding and refinishing for your existing hardwoods. And you'll find us stocked warehouse, full of flooring options for do-it-yourselfers, or take advantage of our in-house installers for expert installation. Hagerstown Floors on Virginia Avenue in Hagerstown, the trusted name in flooring since 1963.
The pain will not control us, because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Welcome back to the show. Heading into Friday night, the South Hagerstown football team had already etched its indelible mark in school history. The 2014 version of the Rebels had done what 57 predecessors had never done. Having authored a 10-0 record through the regular season, this one had designs on penning a few more chapters they planned on titling Playoff Wins. However, what was new and improved became eerily familiar when, just like last year as the number 3 seed, they took the field at Linganore opposite the number 2 seed in a 3A West Region semifinal. After winning the coin toss and deferring to the second half, the county's best defense embarked on its toughest challenge yet, stopping an offense averaging over 39 points per game. One play away from setting the tone and getting that offense off the field, Linganore turned a 3rd and 7 into a 33-yard touchdown run and a 7-0 lead just 2 minutes and 25 seconds in. Having seen the same act by the eventual state runners-up in last year's 31-point setback to them, the Rebels' O seemed unfazed on its first play, but it was the second that conjured up a little deja vu. Just the 8th giveaway all season by a South team that came in plus 17 in turnover margin. And 3 plays after, a team that had yielded just 24 total first quarter points coming in had allowed 15 in a 59-second span. Concerning, yes, but overwhelming, no. After all, South was averaging 43.6 points per game in its own right, but a Linganore defense surrendering fewer than 10 per contest followed a 13-yard gain, by limiting the Rebels to 2 yards on their next 3 plays, forcing a punt. The Lancers then put together a 9-play, 78-yard drive that got them back in the end zone again with exactly 4 minutes left in the opening period. Now down by 21, South needed points in the worst way, and on the 9th play of the ensuing series, TJ Peer connected with Dom Johnson to convert a 4th and 10 down to the Linganore 23. But moments later, the Rebels got a bit impatient, and Peer was intercepted in the end zone on the quarter's final play. Of course, turnabout is fair play, and it seemed as if South was due some, and they got it with DeMaurier James' fumble recovery 3 plays into the second quarter. Fast forward 6 plays from there, and it turned around again when a likely Darian Robinson touchdown run became a fumble through the end zone. South's defense then dug in and came up with its second straight stop, only to see the offense give the ball right back 2 plays later at the Rebel 33-yard line. Linganore wasted little time capitalizing following a pass play to the 10 with a run that made it a 4-touchdown cushion for the home team. After a South 3 and out, the Lancers capped a 9-play drive with a TD that put them up 35-0. Josiah Johnson started the Rebels' next possession promisingly enough, but a penalty 2 plays later effectively killed the drive that ended in an 11-yard punt. Linganore added a 23-yard field goal just before halftime and went in leading 38-0. With the running clock in effect and relegated to playing the second half for pride, Peer ran for 21 yards on the third quarter's second play, but 7 plays later, the series ended on downs at the Lancers' 36. Linganore took over and efficiently drove 64 yards, scoring on the last play of the period to make it 45-0. Attempting to avoid their first shutout in the Coach Toby Peer era, Johnson ripped off a gain of 48 yards to jumpstart the Rebels' ensuing possession all the way down to the Linganore 18. His determined run on the second play after managed to at least keep the non-shutout streak intact at 52 games and counting, but that certainly wasn't the streak the Rebels entertained thoughts about extending heading into Friday night. It was victory number 11 or bust, and unfortunately for South, the powerful Lancers took charge early and flexed their muscles the rest of the way in handing the Rebels a rather unceremonious ending to an otherwise outstanding season. Linganore showed why it too was undefeated, chewing up the South defense, totaling 425 total yards of offense, more than twice as much as the Rebels had allowed on average per game entering this one. South had also not turned the ball over 4 times in a game since the season opener, which they won by 34 points, nor had they allowed more than 28 points in a game since Linganore hung 47 on them last year. The final this time around, 45-6, as South falls to 1-3 all-time in the postseason, and might want to try someone else with 2 of those defeats coming in lopsided fashion to the Lancers. 21 South Hagerstown seniors see their careers come to an end on a disappointing note, but they can proudly proclaim that they contributed to 19 wins in the last 2 years, the school's most successful back-to-back seasons ever. Even more encouraging, 23 juniors returned to headline a cast intent on raising the bar even higher in 2015. Congratulations to Coach Peer, his staff, and his team on what was a thrilling ride this season. Postseason, same opponent as last year, seniors on a mission, big prize on the line. A similar scenario for the Smithsburg girls soccer team. Could they avenge last season's loss to Sparrows Point and bring home the state title they so dearly coveted? The pictorial answer when you come back.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Since 1963, you've been trusting the folks at Hagerstown Floors. It's still a family-owned and operated business featuring a variety of high-quality flooring choices for your home, like carpet, ceramic, hardwood, vinyl, and we offer floor sanding and refinishing for your existing hardwoods. And you'll find us stocked warehouse, full of flooring options for do-it-yourselfers or take advantage of our in-house installers for expert installation. Hagerstown Floors on Virginia Avenue in Hagerstown, the trusted name in flooring since 1963.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. After essentially getting hot and healthy entering the postseason a year ago, the Smithsburg girls soccer team ended up playing its way within 7 minutes of the Leopards' first state championship since 2006. It was a tremendous and somewhat surprising ride that ended with a thud when Sparrows Point turned a party in waiting into a deflating loss for Smithsburg in the span of 4 minutes and 44 seconds. To a player, the Leopards had not only opted not to forget, they chose to use what they didn't accomplish then as motivation for this season. It was a fire that burned through 11 regular season victories, a county tournament championship, plus section and region titles, along with a state semifinal win. Following all of that, exactly a year to the day later, the senior-laden team with the long memory was right back where it yearned to be, in the state championship game versus the reigning title holders, their nemesis, known as the Pointers of Sparrows Point. It may have been a Saturday instead of a Friday and Loyola University instead of UMBC, but the prize waiting at the end was the same, the 1A state crown. On a sunny but cool and breezy day, both teams created some chances in the early stages, and as if Smithsburg needed any further reminder of how good the defending champs can be, Sparrows Point's crisp and precise passing put the Leopards back on their heels in the opening minutes and served to set the tone for much of the first half. Smithsburg did counter, though, in the 8th minute with Vanessa Cuevas' cross for Sarah Duckworth, providing one of the few Leopard opportunities in the opening 40. 2 minutes later, what at first appeared to be an innocent corner kick turned into a failed clearing attempt by Smithsburg, and Sparrows Point took full advantage to grab the upper hand on Jamie Shiflett's 31st goal of the season. Sparrows Point kept the pressure on, especially late in the half. The Pointers first missed over the crossbar in the 38th minute, then were thwarted on a run into the box in the 39th by the D of Rebecca Morales before Corinne Burke made her third save of the half in the final minute, a half that saw 4 Sparrows Point shots on goal to none for Smithsburg. Needing an equalizer, the Leopards came out far more aggressive after intermission and caused the first of 2 yellow cards on the Pointers in an ultra-physical second half. That physical style of play seemed to open things up for Smithsburg, who finally forced Sparrows Point to play in its own end and defend. Set pieces provided the greatest opportunities, including Fiona Zom's free kick 4.5 minutes in. Then in the 49th minute, Zom got her head on the ball, but a hand to the face prevented her from directing home Morales' corner. 2 minutes later, Morales' free kick created a scramble in front of the Pointer net, but again, Sparrows Point turned the Leopards away. It was then the Pointers who threatened to extend the margin in the 55th minute, but fired wide left of the diving Burke. About 2 minutes after, Smithsburg was back on the attack, and Duckworth nearly received a gift, but ended up with a goalkeeper on her back for her efforts. It was Leopard keeper Burke who came up big 8 minutes later to keep her team's deficit at 1 goal. While Smithsburg created some mild scoring chances over the final 15 minutes, it was Cuevas' shot in the 73rd that proved to be the best of them all. Unfortunately, as it played out, the Leopards' best wasn't good enough to best the reigning and defending best in 1A. They did everything in the second half but put the ball in the net, and for the second straight year, the girls of Smithsburg came up short of the school's 4th state soccer title. The Leopards got their symbol of accomplishment, but it certainly wasn't the one they wanted. Sparrows Point was 1 goal better again, and for 11 Smithsburg seniors who won't get to try again next year, that's a tough way to go out. Closing the year as state runners-up doesn't exactly have the same ring to it as state champs, but 26 other schools would have gladly traded places with the Leopards. Incidentally, Sparrows Point becomes the second team in the last 4 years to capture back-to-back titles. Manchester Valley had done it previously. Smithsburg had won 6 in a row heading into Saturday. The Leopards finished the year 14-5. And that finishes the fall sports season. On the fields, the courses, and the courts anyway. Next week, it's our tribute to the best of the best from the last 2 months. Don't miss the Inside Sports Fall Awards Show. That's what's in store for you next time. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then on The Inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, you gotta get up in the streets. up.